What's going on, people? This is a continuation to my first video about the review of the GoPro camera itself, the HD2. And in this video I'm going to quickly go over some accessories, what I would call essential accessories to the GoPro that you should purchase. And I'm also going to talk about a few useful things you need to know when you operate the camera, you know, especially when you have it on top of a helmet or stuff like that. How to be able to operate it quickly and know what you're doing when you're trying to take some extreme footage. So let's get to the first part. I guess the first part will be the memory stick, because in my first video, if you watched the first review, I mentioned that I was going to be using a 16 gigabyte micro SD micro SD card with an adapter. It was a class 6. And it definitely didn't work. It didn't really recognize the card, or it thought I had a card in there, but I couldn't record anything nor take any pictures. Not sure why that was. I even tried out different adapters, but then I had a lengthy conversation with a guy, one of the associates at Best Buy, and he said that the manufacturer says that they do not take any cards with adapters, so no SDs. You know, it could be simply the adapters that are not compatible, or it could be the fact that it was a class 6 and simply the class 6 transfer speeds and the data upload rates are just not fast enough to be able to capture 1080p video stream, for example. So I picked up a 32 gig SD card from Newegg, and this solved the problem. This is a class 10, so you know the speeds to be able to capture 1080p video or any other video format on this camera, it doesn't present an issue. It's perfect for it. It's been a great card, and this is what I used on my trip. If you watch my first video, you see some footage from that. The second thing that I got was the LCD screen, and let's take a look at this real quick. You know, the box already is making me pretty excited just looking at it in the store with what it has in it. But I do have to say, I love the packaging on all the GoPro products and accessories. I mean, this is basically the box that comes inside of here, and in here you will see that we have 4 different back covers to the camera, and they're all labeled nicely right here on the box. So you know, we have non-waterproof with the door, so you can capture better sound, better audio quality, and it's not waterproof or sealed. Then we have a waterproof door standard, which is right here. I still have the coverings on it, and basically the one I was using is this one right here, and is obviously attachable to your case. Now let me show you real quickly how to put it on. Basically it snaps on and off from the back. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, and it makes you feel like you may break these little plastic clamps for a second, but I've done it back and forth a few times, and there's not really any issues. Now you notice, we just get to the battery pack. Comes in a similar box. It's cheaper. The battery pack goes for $49.99, whereas the LCD screen goes for $80 and $79.99. There's really no other cheap place to get it. But let me come back to my point with the backs. The battery pack also comes with a nice box. It comes with extra USB cable, a user manual, and 2 backings. One is waterproof, and one is has the holes for the sound capture. And you see that they're different in the fact that this leaves you this whole space empty, basically, so you can actually see the LCD screen when you're looking at the video, whereas the battery pack backs have an extra pad right here that pushes it to the camera, so when you actually put the battery pack on, it makes it tight against the back of the actual camera. So that's the difference. But I just gotta say again that I love this brand, the way it's packaged, what it comes with, the quality that the material is made out of, very sturdy, and it's quality product. So again, the way I would snap this on is simply put it at the bottom and just hear it snap a little bit, and then you got the back. So let me put the LCD screen on, show you some tips on this. Basically, when we turn the camera on, no SD card. Let me plug that in real fast. You would use your front button to cycle through the different settings, or the main areas of settings, and when it hits the play button, if you can see that, then we got our LCD screen on. And this definitely helps mainly to see what you're shooting, you know, because originally this camera does not come with an LCD screen. It's not that this LCD screen is any like high resolution special touchscreen. It just simply allows you to view what you're looking at. The way to activate it is you press this top button right here, you get to the options, and you can either get to the options of video, photo. You can adjust the brightness, the volume, because it actually has a small speaker on here, which will allow you to listen to the sound that was captured during your video. Or you can exit. So if I click on the video one time, it goes to my last video that I recorded on there, and with this button I could basically press to the next one. It cycles through the different videos by pressing the top button. This side button right here, when you press it a few times, will also allow you to, if you see that, raise the volume of the speaker right here. You would, once it's stopped, you would hold this to turn it back into the menu, and if you want to cycle through the menu, you will hit your front button and basically go through. So if you want to exit the camera, you basically click on exit, hit that button, and now we're back to being able to capture new footage. And you see that right here because I can actually move with the camera and see what I'm looking at. So essentially that's what the camera does. It's a simple addition. It does cost a little bit, I would say, at $80, but I would say it's essential. There's no other way to see what you're capturing while you're capturing footage other than to shoot something and then put on your computer, and maybe too late at that point to try to recapture what you were trying to achieve. So that's the LCD pack, but it's definitely a must in my opinion. And again, let me just put in the case for you to show you what it looks like with the case. Snap it in, there we go. So it's in the waterproof case in this particular example. So the speaker's covered there, but we could shoot this underwater, for example, if we needed to. So let me take that out. Let me get back to the battery pack. The battery pack, again, is very simple. Anything that attaches to this camera has this little kind of pivot side that you kind of just clamp onto the camera and plug it back in. Now when you plug the second camera in, you will see on here that it shows you battery number 2, if you can see that. Right now it just jumped back to 1 bar because it's not fully charged. You can check how much charge it has by hitting this button, which shows you the green LED indicators. Will show you how full it is. And then also when you're charging this with the cord, it will these LED indicators will light up in red. The only thing that I didn't like about using this extra battery pack is the fact that when it gets low on here, so you see number 2 is near just 1 bar, and when it gets even lower, it starts beeping, and what it will do is it will shut off your camera. It doesn't automatically go into using the original battery, which is number 1 right here. So what I had to do while I was skiing is I had to take this off so the camera would register battery number 1, and then hit the record button. And while I was recording, I put this back, and then it basically kept it on battery number 1, which is, again, I didn't like it. What the camera, I guess, is looking for is that you completely juice this battery pack out to last leg, and then it automatically switches over to battery number 1. But it definitely gave me a little bit of trouble in the hill to be able to have to deal with the fact that every time it got really low, it was just beeping and shutting off the camera as a whole. Let me point out one thing. You can't actually use the same backing that you would use for the LCD camera with the extra battery pack. You do have to use the battery pack for the camera because it just simply doesn't close right. It's I wouldn't try to basically force it, because you may break something. You definitely don't want to do that. So you have to put this other back on there. Again, quickly clamp it and this one definitely fits much better. Here we go, you see that? So pretty much went over these two accessories. Let me give you some tips on how to use this. You may wonder, how do you know what setting you're on and so forth and what you're about to be recording. So let's say you have this camera on your helmet, and I'll bring my helmet out in a second. As long as you keep it on the setting that you want, so for example, if you're going to be taking video and you set it to 1080p, and let's say that I have it right now in the narrow setting, or you have it on the wide setting, if you leave it on that and you're planning on capturing footage all day, then what you could simply do while you're, let's say, skiing, when I had this on my helmet, let me put this on real quick. When I had it on top, the only thing that allowed me to know what I was doing is these audible sounds that the camera makes, the little beeps when you hit certain buttons. So for example, if I have it on and without having to take my helmet off, and you can actually use your gloves, which I love about this, you don't have to take your gloves off and use these buttons. They're pretty easy to press. When you hit the button in the front right here and you hold it, it'll beep about, I guess that was what, maybe like 6 times. You know at that point it's turned off. And what I would actually recommend is in between footage, I would turn it off to save battery, to get even more out of your battery. So every time I got on the lift, I pretty much turned it on. And then when I got off the lift, again, I didn't have to take my camera off. I just hit this button in the front once. The camera turns on. You have a 3 beeps, so you always listen for the 3 beeps. So you know it's turned on. As long as you left it on the setting that it was last on, which in this case is the 1080p recording option, then that's what it's going to be on. And then simply when you're on the hill or anywhere else that you want to capture footage on, you just hit the top button to record once, and now it's recording. And then to turn the recording off, or to stop the recording, you hit this again, but it produces 3 sounds again, if you heard that. I definitely recommend turning it on and off when you're not shooting, or you're going to have some downtime, a few minutes that you don't have to shoot for. Definitely turn it off to get some more out of the battery, even if you have the extra battery pack attached to this. Now when I was using it, I got about let's see, maybe 2.5 hours, almost 2 hours and 45 minutes on the 1080p wide setting, so which is pretty much the best quality at 30 frames per second. And I got that much time with turning it on and off in between the downtimes. If I was to keep the camera on the whole time and only turn it on and off when I was recording, basically turn the recording on and turn it back off, probably would only gotten maybe 2 hours or so. And if I had only the camera itself without the battery pack, you're probably talking about an hour to hour and a half if you use the turning on and off method like I did. So hopefully this helped give you a little bit of insight in some of the essential accessories that I personally got for the GoPro, and I would recommend anyone having this to get these. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to tell you in more details from my trip or from my experience of using this so far. But again, love the brand, love the camera, love all the accessories that it comes with, even though they're expensive. But this is another example of getting what you pay for. It reminds me of brands like Apple and others that can have price control in their products. But very satisfied so far, and I would recommend this camera to anybody that's doing any extreme sports, or just videographers or photographers that want to capture different images using the wide angle lens. It gives a very, very cool effect, especially on some of the pictures, which again can be taken 11 megapixels, so the quality is tremendous on this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.